giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect. This is Brother Tazapai here again with another lesson. And this lesson serves as a warning for you Edomites, you so-called white people, all right? The natives are getting restless, all right? And this is a term I would hear growing up. And as far as I knew, it just referred to the old cowboy and Indian movies, not having any understanding of who we were and our origins as a people, my nationality. All right, I had no idea, no clue, no knowledge whatsoever as to any of that back, growing up. But now, as a man, a grown man in this truth, I understand fully what that means and how to properly apply it. And um, yeah, this is the best. Well, that phrase applies to the situation that we are in right now. All right, and I'm gonna get into the scriptures, and I have a video also that I like to share, showing you that the Gadites. All right, so when I say the natives, all right, you can say all 12 tribes, but here in North America, you had Gad, Reuben, and Issachar. All right, because Mexico was a part of North America before the colonizers came over here and do what they do best: colonize and oppress. That's the border of wickedness, and I'm talking about you Edomites. All right, y'all came over here in the 1300s. Well, late 1400s rather. 1492, Christopher Columbus. All right, Cristobal Colon sailed the ocean blue to come over here to the Western Hemisphere and to enslave and indoctrinate, our people, the northern tribes or the northern kingdom of Israel, which we know today as the Latin tribes and the natives up north, all right, which we call the Gadites, the Reubenites as well, and you would have to put Issachar in that too. They're all native to this northern, North America, the continent of North America. And so that's who I'm referring to. So with that being said, getting into the scriptures, we're going to kick it off here. Genesis chapter 49, verse 1, just to give you some a backdrop and contextual clues as to what's going on. So Genesis 49 and 1, and Jacob called unto his sons and said, gather yourselves together that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days. All right. Now, just so you can understand when the last days are, or at least when they started, because we are in the last days, without a doubt. Okay. We, the entire world, we're in the last days of this man's kingdom. Now, when you go to Second Ezra, I'm not going to get it for this lesson, but Second Ezra's 6 and 8 and on down, it tells you that Esau is the end of the world. All right. And so, right, that because his going down would signal the end of the end. All right. It's not the end of the world, the earth as you know it, but an end of an age, a era, a kingdom, a rulership. Okay. Now, we're here now, Hebrews chapter 1, verse 1. It says, Yahweh, who at sundry times and in divers manners spake in time past unto the fathers by the prophets, hath in these last days spoken unto us by his Son, Yahushua, whom he had appointed heir of all things, by whom also he made the worlds. So it's more than one world. All right. So just so again you could understand, the last days began when Yahushua came in the flesh. All right. And that was over 2,000 years ago. And so now we're at the end of the end. And going back to Genesis 49 and 1, Jacob said again, Genesis chapter 49, verse 1, and Jacob called unto his sons and said, gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days. All right, so in speaking on Gad, now I'm going to jump down to verse 19. Oh, we can get 18. Genesis 49 and 18. I have waited for thy salvation, O Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. In verse 19 it says Gad, which are the North American Indians, all the various tribes, outside of the Reubenites, who are the Seminole Indians, who were in the region of the southeast North America, Florida, and that area. All right, Reuben settled that area, and Gad was all up north as far as Canada and all throughout the U.S. and on the west coast. All right, all the tribes that you heard about, the Hopi, uh, Cherokee, what is it, Comanche, Apache, all the various, tribes. Those are Gad. They go back to Gad. So it says in verse 19, Gad, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last. All right. So just so you can understand who this just ain't anybody, because you say, well, who is that troop? Right? Now, and that's an intelligent question to ask. Well, who is that troop? All right, because it says, Gad, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last. So we get an idea, well, we get the understanding, rather. We go to Revelation 13. All right, and we'll start at verse 4. All right, to keep it from being super long, this is Revelation chapter 13, verse 4. It says, and they worship the dragon, which the dragon is in reference to Esau. All right, at the time, the Roman Empire. Well, today we're in the revised Roman Empire. All right, and it says, and they worship the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. And they worship the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him? Now, who is the warmongering warlock who has all the world in fear of his missiles, his aircraft carriers, of all of his technology in which he makes war with? Who is this man? All right, because this is the same man that they're talking about, who is able to make war with him. All right, it's the reason why the white boy called the shots in the earth. We're going to read about it. All right, it says in verse 5, and there was given unto him a mouth, speaking great things and blasphemies. And power was given unto him to continue 40 and 2 months. All right, and I did the math. I don't have it on deck, that 42 months, but it's in reference to the time where the beast would be ruling, and the beast is NATO and the EU, going back to what, 58, about that time. So their time is due. All right, because the months here is not actual months. And I did the math, and I don't have it on hand. And I want to say it's uh, roughly over 50 years. All right. And so when you do the math on NATO coming into the power, because that's the military of the beast is NATO, all right, led by that third part of the three city state, DC, which is the military powerhouse of the world. Well, NATO is led by D.C., Washington, D.C. All right, and NATO, which is a part of the beast. The beast is NATO and the EU, but NATO is what? A military bloc, and that's the one thing that joins all of these different countries together. Now, when you talk about the EU, well, that's the EU. They're joined geographically. That's the European Union. All right, the 10 horns. Then you have, which a lot of the members in EU are part of NATO. But not everybody that's a part of NATO is in the EU, because you also have countries like Turkey. You had at one part, I want to say some African countries, but NATO is worldwide. You even have what is that? Ecuador. I believe Ecuador is part of NATO. But you even have some countries in South and Central America, or at least South America, that's a part of NATO. And I believe Ecuador is in there, but don't quote me on that. But this is what it's talking about, all right? And the NATO and the EU are what? They're all headed by the so-called white man. So this is why it says in verse 6, and he opened his mouth in blasphemy against Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell in heaven. And what did this man do? He does just that. Whatever the scriptures say, he says opposite. He's going around the world pushing what? A wicked agenda in the rainbow doctrine. He wants to carry that worldwide, and then he tells you that the Most High looks like him. That's the ultimate blasphemy. You know, somebody that what's that term? Slanders your name, your character. Like, that's the ultimate insult, man. That's the ultimate injury. Well, this is what they do to the Lord on a day-to-day basis with those pictures, all right, of a white Jesus. And then you see pictures of a white God, and then it says what? And them that dwell in heaven. And the whole heavenly host looks like them. Well, let me tell you this, all right? To have that pale, translucent skin is a curse of leprosy. So when you put that picture up and claim that this is God and this is the Son of God, and they look like leprous dogs, that's the ultimate blasphemy. Not to mention everything else that he does wicked in this earth and pushes it for a doctrine. So yeah, the Heavenly Father has a great controversy with these devils. What does it say here? Verse 7, and it was given unto him to make war with the saints. That's why I said a troop shall overcome him. Because when the Edomites came over here, and I mentioned Cristobal Colon, they started in the south and they worked their way up north. But yeah, they gave Gad hell. Gad gave them hell back. But Gad was ultimately what? Overcome. Gad put up a hell of a fight. To so much so that they had to get Judah. They had to get the southern kingdom. They had to enlist the help of the Negroes to help take Gad down. Because even with Esau's Gatling guns, they wasn't they wasn't matching up. All right, pound for pound, blow for blow with Gad. Gad was over here doing some incredible shit, running for hundreds of miles. Like you see, everybody in awe of Ham, because Ham cross country every year. You can't beat Ham cross country, because that's what they do on their land. Well, that's how Gad would. Gad would run, hunt deer barefoot with just a bow. A lot of times they would run the deer down and catch them like you see Esau in the rodeo, catch them by the horns and drag them down, like Esau would do with these calves when they calf rope and they grab them by the horns and yank them to the ground. Gad was doing that with full-grown bucks and deer, which is dangerous. Them deer ain't got them horns on their head for nothing. But yeah, Gad was over here, man. Gad really, and that's why the scriptures, you know, say what it says. Well, I'm gonna keep reading. We hadn't got to it yet. No, yeah, verse 7 right here. It says, and it was given unto him to make war with the saints. The Most High had to put a spirit on Esau, all right, to make war, just to make war with the saints, and then to overcome them. The Most High had to be with Esau to do that. Because, yeah, Gad, that's the warriors. All right, the warrior tribes of Israel, Gad, Manasseh, shit, is Reuben? Let's say Reuben. But anyway, yeah, they had to have the Most High's help, and so yeah, he opened his mouth in verse 7, and it was given unto him to make war with the saints, and the saints are the children of Israel. All right, and he did that with every tribe he conquered. But the prophecy in the last days concerning Gad was that a troop would overcome them, and that's what they did. They set up troops, and they got movies and as well as sitcoms about it. They had what the that comedy back in the day, F Troop or something like that. But they would set up troops in garrisons to go to war, just to go to war with Gad. All right, these Edomites did that. You know, with the bugles and all of that, calling forth the cavalry to try to deal with Gad. But it wasn't until they enlisted the help of the Negroes, the Buffalo Soldiers, and so forth, that they could get a handle on Gad. All right, I'm going to read on. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him. Who's being worshiped today? Is we still talking about the last days? Everybody's worshiping Esau, Edom. And don't tell me you're not. Because all of y'all running around here talking about getting to the bag and chasing the bag and all this and that about the bag, that's Esau's bag. All right? That bag is filled with his money. All right? Now, it ain't nothing wrong with getting money, but just that mentality of this is what my life is about, and you making a life all around, centered around getting this man's money. You worshiping this man. Because on some level, you got to do business with them, okay? On some level, you got to do business with this man. So that means you putting on the suit and the tie. You raise your voice a few octaves, and you speak the the best English you can speak in front of this white boy, and you change your persona. You see, I know how it's done. All right, so verse 8, and all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb, slain from the foundation of the world. Right. That lines up directly with Romans 11 and 4. Most I said, well, it said, what said the answer unto him? I have preserved for myself 7,000 men which have not bowed the knee to Baal. Matter of fact, I need to get that just for this verse. So here we are, Romans 11 and 4. But what said the answer of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai unto him? I have reserved to myself 7,000 men who have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal. So now you can understand when we read in Revelation 13 that when it says, verse 8, and all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb, slain from the foundation of the world. So that means what? Those who are written in the book of life of the Lamb, slain from the foundation of the world, would not be worshiping this devil, because those are they who were reserved by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai from the foundation of the world. All right. So with that, I'm going to show you this real quick. I have to play it in this entirety.
Why aren't the tribes?
So here we go.
Why aren't the tribes joining the freedom movement? I don't understand why. Because we know that's a lie. That's why. Native Americans always known it was a lie. The Freedom Convoy was instilled because it was all political theater, so they can instill the Emergency Act. The truth is, most of the natives want to make certain that they take away the land from the farmers with this UNDRIP. And UNDROP actually does that. UNDROP, the United Nations Declarations of Peasants and Other People. And the farmers are going to have to realize that they have to start siding with the Indians. It's not so much the Indians siding with the farmers. So that's what you have to understand. Most of the Native American chief and council systems, especially hereditary chief and council systems, have been bought and paid for. 10 years, they said in 2014, that in 10 years, we're going to start making moves to take over this land back again. And the United Nations is going to do so. But what the natives don't understand is that they're actually giving up their treaty right. And what they're going to do is going to get their land taken away, just like they have in Australia. So the Indians are getting fucking duped too. So you have to understand there's a proxy war coming. And I'm for Canada first nationalism. You guys don't even have a damn fucking chance. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Nobody has a damn fucking chance in regards to fighting unless you guys actually join with the Native Americans and the Native Americans join with you. This is why you guys have 27 land stewardship acts in Alberta. And it's going all over the place. See, they are using the trucker convoy. They're using a lot of people in regards to this. Is why they have identity politics. They bring identity politics because they know that you guys are going to be fighting for human rights, but you guys are not fighting for land rights at all. That's the funny thing. Land rights are usually going down to the Native Americans, and what they're actually doing right now to farmers is they're going to take away your land, and their reason to do so is because you guys don't own land. You never have. This is why you guys pay taxes. So they're going to put a whole bunch of land stewardship acts on water, land. They're going to even put endangered trees and plant them on your guys' land. And now you guys can't farm there. They're going to start killing a lot of cows. They're going to say that the cows are causing all this carbon, this carbon tax bullshit. All these things. They're going to manipulate you guys into believing in environmental issues because that's what they do. There's nothing wrong with the environment at all. It's a narrative that they're playing. So this is why I've been telling a lot of people, you guys have to get your guys' heads out of your asses and fucking start learning politics, because none of you guys know what the fuck politics is. Not one of you guys. And even in Alberta does not know shit. The East Coast, why do they keep on doing this? Winning over there with Quebec? Because they made it a part of their constitution that you have to have 2 languages. In Alberta, you know what? I talk to so many farmers, they only care about making money. And nobody has taught them anything about politics. Nothing at all until I started talking. And they're just like, what? This can't be happening. Fucking rights, it can't be happening. Because most of the conservatives, liberals, Green Party, everybody, they're all against you. You guys don't even know it. So which side am I on? I'm on Canada first. I don't believe Native Americans own this land. We're stewards of this land. And that's the thing. And now the new Native Americans I see are the farmers because they actually want to protect this land. But the problem is, the only reason why most of you guys are here is because you guys got inconvenienced because your livelihood has been taken away. It's not by design for anything else. They just want to make certain, you guys would never be here. Most of the white people used to look at the Native Americans and say, these fucking Indians are at it again. Why don't you just go to work? It's funny now that most people's jobs are at stake, that most white people are starting to become like Indians, and they realize, hey, we didn't bitch and complain because we didn't have no jobs. We bitched and complained because that was our job to take care of this land. And now you guys are going to realize the Canadian government is here to take the land away from you as well too. And it's even harsher for Canadian farmers pretty soon, unless you pay to play, if that makes sense. 50-minute districts, all of it, if you really think about it, it makes sense. This is why they will never teach you guys about Native American politics. The truest definition of Canadian politics is Native American politics in the idea of treaty. This is why they're trying to destroy the treaty with the United Nations. This is why they instilled the Emergency Act. The Emergency Act instilled so many laws in the middle of the night, and they did it legally because the Emergency Act was there. So they needed the Emergency Act to be instilled. So now you start wondering, was this trucker convoy used? From my point of view, yes, and people blindly did not know what the fuck was going on because people don't know politics. So yes, the real tribes, Native American tribes, should be here, but they're getting bought and paid for too. So the best thing you guys can do, because you guys have absolutely no chance. Doesn't matter how much you guys argue and get in a new party, they're all the same. World Economic Forum is all in the House of Commons. You guys all lost. The only way you could ever do it is you have to support and come together with Native American, real Native American land protectors. Because this is our treaty. It's also your treaty. It takes two nations to make a treaty. Remember that. Hi. Hopefully that makes sense. Have a good day.
All right, so we see Esau's up to his old tricks, right? And you heard him mention, and that's one thing you can see, and usually the men of Israel, they will know what's going on. And not all, but there will be some. And Gad, among all the tribes, ain't none of the tribes slow. You know, you have those who know what's going on, that's paying attention, and then you have those who don't. All right. And Gad has always, you can tell he got that Gadite spirit. Regardless of how he looks, he has that Gadite spirit. Like the old commercial with people littering, and then your what you call it, your typical, what Esau told us was an Indian. You know, he looked at the trash, or he picked up the trash off the land, and it had a tear coming down his eye. He was crying for the land. Gad is got a connection with the land. All right, so they look into things. But this is what I want to say with Gad and a lot of these other tribes who may have an inkling of what's going on. As you can see, he didn't have any answers. Although he, you know, keeping up with the politics, he's paying attention to what's happening, what's going on with, his country. He don't have any good solutions. He don't know, he doesn't know what the answer is. All right? And the scripture gives us the answers. So it just goes to show, regardless of what you know, till you come to the knowledge of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, You just gonna come off as simple. All right, and here's a man, he knows more than their average US citizen, and yet he's simple because he's teaching or trying to tell people to get involved with politics. Politics is what got us into this shit. They can manipulate politics, just as he stated. Basically, they're paying off the chiefs and councils. That's a typical Edomite move. That's his MO. To pay off those in charge to make rulings in their favor. Well, he said the majority of the chiefs and council is paid off, bought and paid for. So what good would voting do? And then he acknowledged that they're trying to go around the treaty or just cancel it through this emergency act. That's what Esau does. You know? I'm talking about, bear with me 1 second here. All right, Psalm 55, verse 20. It says, He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenant. Another name for a treaty, a synonym for treaty, is a covenant. Synonym for covenant, a treaty. All right, contracts. These are contracts. So it's telling you, he hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. Now, the guy seemed like he should be knowledgeable on his own history or the history of his tribe and how the Edomites, Esau, Edom, the devil, did not honor one treaty that he made with the Gadites, nor the Reubenites, nor the Ishkarites. All right, he's a truce breaker, a covenant breaker. That's what that's what a devil does. He strikes up deals, treaties, covenants, and then he breaks them. So remember, we read that Gad, a troop shall overcome you, but you shall overcome at the end. Right. And this devil had put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. The Gadites showed this devil love when he came over here. Taught him survival skills, how to live on the land, live off the land, and they got repaid in return with bloodshed. All right. He's a covenant breaker. It said he had broken his covenant. Verse 21, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war is in his heart. All right, what did we read? Who's able to make war with him? War is in his heart. That's what he meditates on. Somebody that does something constantly all the time, they formidable in the thing, whatever it is, in which they practice. That's Esau. He's a formidable warrior. All right. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. It says, Cast thy burden upon Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, and he shall sustain thee. He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved. And this is what we need. See, this is the answer right here. He should be getting on his knees. Well, he need to be following the apostles at Great Millstone. And then we'll teach him how to get on his knees, call on Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai in righteousness, keeping the law, statutes, and commandments to the very best of his ability, then that way he can what? Cast his burden upon Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. All right? And then he's going to quickly learn, messing with us, that all of this is going to be destroyed. Well, as far as North America, Canada should be fine. You know, Canada may get hit with a few, but they will, it's not going to be left desolate. America is going to get pelted with 200 million nuclear warheads and will not be restored, rejuvenated, or revived. It's going to be left as a reminder not to fuck with Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. All right? So this is what we need to be doing. Does not the scripture say to, that's in Sirach, to cast off our burdens? It says, the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee, cast them off. Well, it's saying the same thing here. Cast thy burden upon the Lord, and he shall sustain thee. He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved. All right. So I'm gonna go out here. I had some more scriptures, and you can see. I was gonna get into Habakkuk, but we definitely got to go here. All right. Well, he was talking about it. Y'all gonna need to get with the Gadites. He said the Native Americans. If you're gonna win, he said you're not gonna win fighting alone. And when the time comes, the Lord is gonna bring us together. You know. So what he said had a lot of spiritual overtones to it, but without having the truth, he couldn't put it together. And then he came off sounding simple, saying that we need to learn politics. Just like the Moors. Oh, yeah, well, you need to learn the law. Learn this. This is a lawless system. Why the fuck do I need to learn and study the law? And America has descended into anarchy. That's like in the movie The Purge, and you trying to follow the laws and the guidelines. You and somebody firing at you, but it's a stop sign. You're going to stop at the stop sign. Oh, let me stop. I'm going to get no ticket from the cop. Okay, now let's go. But they shooting at you. The light turned red. Let me stop. I don't want to get no ticket. You look stupid. Plus, that's a violation. In wartime, it's wartime. You can't apply rules to fucking war. All the Geneva Convention and all that dumb shit. When your life is on the line and it's just you and the man in front of you, mama bite, kick, scratch, claw, anything, all right, to keep from getting unalived. And that's the rules of war. By any and all means, every means necessary. By any and every means necessary. That's the law of war, and fuck that other shit. Now, it's just some stuff you don't do that should be just, I guess common sense, you know. Well, no, not really. No, no, really, it ain't. Really, it ain't for stuff that I can't say on YouTube. But yeah, war is. This is the reason why they got the term "war is hell." They ain't supposed to be friendly. We ain't supposed to make it politically correct. It's supposed to be to vanquish your enemies. All right, and they done got this old soft sense of war now. Now, then, mind you, the shit that's going on in Palestine and over there, Gaza and all that, that's cowardice. That's cowardice. I ain't talking about cowardice. I'm talking about you and the man, or your men versus their men. You know, mano y mano. Then at that point, it's let's go, motherfucker. And to the victor goes the spoils. But let's go. I ain't hear no cries for mercy. When it's on, it's on. And it's about to be on. So all that politics and we need to learn the law and the law is, it's your friend and we got to learn the system. And no, we installing a new system. This shit has to go. Esau is the end of the world. All right? Second Ezra 6 and 8 and on down. For Esau is the end of the world. That's the end of voting. That's the end of all of this shit. Getting tickets, going to court where they'll be going to court. There will be courts, as the scriptures say. There will be set thrones of judgment. Those thrones of judgment, Psalm 122, I believe the 5th verse. Those thrones of judgment is going to be the courts. That will be the new court system. Esau couldn't set that up because he's not the true ruler of the world. He has to rule under color of law. But see, we will set and sit on thrones. We will set up thrones and we will sit on thrones. Not only judging the 12 tribes of Israel, but judging all nations. All right, so yeah, I just wanted to go here. Job 20 and 22. In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits, which is where he's finding himself now. That's why he's going to have to cheat, lie, steal, murder. That's what he does best. That's what he excels at anyway, but he's going to have to do that even more because he is about to fill his belly now. The people ain't feeling his dystopian future for them. So there's resistance. So he's just going to have to come on with it. So it says when he is about to fill his belly, nope, verse 22, Job 20 and 22, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits, right, a position of difficulty. Because again, he's being met with opposition on every hand. And it says, every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. All right, now that word wicked is translated from the Hebrew word amal. Amal means the sufferers. And you can hear the pain in the man's voice. He's hurt. He's suffering. We know. I'm suffering. I just hate to see things not being done right, not not being fair, no justice, no equity, and just things just being done wrong. Destroying cows, all of these chickens being destroyed. Why? I mean, we know why, but that should bother people. But we are suffering. We are suffering heavy in ways that most people don't even understand. But they're suffering. And so that guy was suffering. Again, we all are, but his video, you could see the pain, you could hear it. So I thought he was gonna cry at one point. But yeah, man, yeah, there will be some tears shed before this is over with. It's gonna get bad out here, and he knows it. We know it. The majority of the masses, they don't know it. And that's probably the most frustrating part with everything that's being shown, everything that's been done, all of the evidence that's coming out against this man. And we understand this is the work of the Lord, but people still sleep. People are still asleep. But yes, as every hand of the wicked shall come upon him, because just as he stated, right, the tribes are going to come together. Gad with Reuben. All right. Reuben with Manasseh. Manasseh with Issachar. All the tribes. Judah with Benjamin. Levi. We all gonna come together at some point and get it on. In the words of old Judge Mills Lane, the old boxing referee, let's get it on. Yep. And that's what's gonna go down. So I'm gonna end it right there. But to the next one, man, stay up, stay strong. Shalom.